they're gonna be pretty warm, pretty uncomfortable, and so I kept doing that until finally, almost had a snafu with the paperwork. But finally, it's my turn, or the lady said, look, I need paper, and she marked my place, so I couldn't move back anymore, because still like 5 more people showed up, and so each person came up, they got a picture of themselves taken. And then they went up on the stage. They got wired first. They had trouble with the wiring to begin with. But they got wired, went up, Christian was off to the side, they stood on the little red mark, they said hello, did the little song and dance. And the problem was the sound. Some of the people you could hear, some you just couldn't. It was too muffled, especially with the background noise. And the guy said, just eat the mic, just right up to your lips. So I did that, and I think I was heard. So I hope. It's kind of neat. One woman approached me and said, "Hey, can I get your autograph and stuff?" Hey, cool. Because she thought, yeah, I like what you did, and I wrote it on there. And it's like, yeah, just think like a hero. So see what happens. Which, hey, that could be a catchphrase, but I don't want a catchphrase. I don't want my character to have a catchphrase because, does the average person have a catchphrase? Some do, but some don't. And each person has their own catchphrase, so don't have a catchphrase. It has to be. Sadly, the idea of my character is as bland as possible. So, and I worked it with the white T-shirt and blue jeans. But I think the people heard me, and also I was kind of surprised, and luckily it worked out that when I finally got up there, which was a while, about a little over an hour, 2 hours, almost, not about an hour and a half. I got up there, mouth opened, and the right things came out. It surprised me, and I even later on, said, yeah, ask about that, so I talked about going on stage, and I said, I was almost unsure what to say, and then I went up there, opened my mouth, and the right things came out, and in a weird way, that embodies the ideology I'm pushing, is that, sometimes you're not going to know for sure, but you start doing it, and you realize this is the right thing to do. It's, it sounds right. It is right. So, luckily it worked out. But just a neat variety of guys, a couple women, only one girl. Well, 2 women, there's 2 women that are pretty good looking. One was kind of scantily clad. And I only mention that because, that just seems to be the norm for superheroines. And I even joked with her. I said, well, you realize I have to get a body shot of you, just because, you are wearing a nice outfit. And she's like, yeah, thank you, I understand. But it was her, she and her husband or fiance or boyfriend, because there's another boyfriend too, but you're going to see it all in the videos, but some neat stuff. Oh no, husband and wife from Provo, Utah. Yeah. Pretty good people, pretty neat, like I said, all of them are neat, all of them are just, cool people. And what was I trying to say about wife? Oh, what I was trying to say about the wife is that, she understood what she did, and she, other than being pretty soft-spoken, real neat character. She really, she really worked it, and so, yeah, rock on. Anyways, so we go up on the stage, give her a spiel. I thought I did it right. My buddy, luckily, he filmed everything from the front. So I'm talking him into getting on YouTube. So hopefully he'll mess around with that and post his video of each person coming up. But he said, yeah, the sound's pretty bad, because people they didn't understand. I asked him about myself. He's like, yeah, you kind of got shafted. And it's like, why? It's like, well, he asked you a few questions, and he said, all right, on your way. And it's like, well, yeah, because no powers, no weaknesses, no special weaknesses, no birth story of how I came to being. Yeah, like I said, that's my problem, is that I'm the lamest superhero here because there's no background story behind it. It's just an ideology, and that's why part of the idea is a spirit. What else? But I felt like I got my message out, and that I even addressed the crowd, because like I said, even a woman came up and said, "Hey," so he said he could hear me, so I hope I got through. I believe I talked about the guy Autry over in New York, but really I couldn't hear anybody else up there, so I can't even say what they said. Got back in line, and then everybody came back up, did a little pose, because they had a camera. The stage was set up like a wrestling ring, and so everybody went up in turn and posed and said their thing, and I was borderline cheesy, but also for the purpose it's not flamboyant, because that's the thing. It's not my hero idea concept is not flamboyant either. It's just regular person. It's just oh, I need to do something. So and I think I did the smart move and just waving my hand. Say, hey, I like to be a superhero. God, people kept mentioning Stan Lee and other stuff. And would have been kind of meet Stan Lee. One of the things we kept talking about and mentioning was that hey, what if there's a crime right now? What if like a little kid goes missing? And actually, that was happening a lot. There's so many little kids there for WWE, which really surprises me because they kind of talk. They do a lot of adult talking stuff. A lot of trash talking, a lot of inappropriate speaking, and it's just like just toddlers in some cases, and just 6-year-olds. So many 6-year-olds. Man, so I kind of wonder, not that it's proof of wrestling, but the wrestling is pretty cool. But when they're talking to each other, just the mean things they say to each other, But then again, it is kind of a morality play, wrestling. So that's what could really appeal to kids is that look, you got good guys and bad guys. And bad guys, they may do dastardly things, but they're going to get punished. And there's good guys who they'll be challenged, but they're going to stay good. So there's one good thing or good aspect about wrestling. And all these little kids are sniffling too. So I'm worried that I started telling everybody, drink orange juice. We're all going to get sick, after this. All these little kids, because it's flu season too, and there's just so many kids sniffling and wiping their noses, and now I understand what my dad, talks about when he teaches school. It's like, just these kids are so, not so much that the kids are disgusting, but they're such a germ carrier. So man, poor guy. So I'm hoping I don't get sick and give it to him, or I'm also worried that I may not get sick, but I'll carry it and then I'll breathe it into him. So it's a good thing I'm spending another night here. So we did that, and then by this point it had been like 2.5 hours. We went over to a exit that big exit that was pretty empty. It's almost storage, but it's open to the public. I went in there and set up some backgrounds and started talking. And this will be the part if they may ask me to take out. So we stage interviews, which were set up as post and pre-interviews. So before you would go on the stage, what would you say before or after? And actually, it was a very, and it's not so much that they're deceiving you, it's a premise for what they're talking to you about, what they're saying, because there was your stage persona, and now there's your real persona, who you are, that they were also trying to get at, and some people were doing straight character, and some people were like, they're talking about their character, and that's how the talking went after a while. That's how it started becoming that everybody was like really started talking about their character, in my opinion. I noticed one thing, because after a while they brought in Christian to act as the on-stage interviewer, and God, this guy Christian, I said, dude, you have amazing mic skills, because he had been performing on the stage. He wasn't a wrestler, but he, was just talking on the stage and really getting it out there. And then he comes back into his little room and he's doing the same thing. I was like, man, and even after all, the guy was like, I'm cutting my lunch break now too. I only have an hour, and this, we're like, wow, and the reason why is because he was so impressed by all the contestants. It's the total amazing reversal of the jock and the nerd, at school. That here is the jock, who is impressed, with everybody.